He'll deliver the same result. One thing is certain, this one is not going to be boring.
The plan was to go forward and go get Cung. I'm more prepared and I'm confident to go out there and go at him from the get-go.
Well, Scott Smith can say whatever he wants to say. If he wants to say he can finish me sooner, that's more pressure to him. I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to perform. What happened against Scott Smith was I got him down in the first round and in the second round, and halfway through the third round,
A spinning back kick drops Scott Smith.
Instead, I went in there looking for the knockout, got caught with the punch, and he finished me.
Scott Smith has got a new lease on life with a KO at the last minute.
There's people that say that I got lucky. The fight should have been stopped in the first round. I want to go out there and prove that I can go out there in the first round and beat him up.
Tonight, you're going to see Cung Le at his best. Sharp, focused, and in super shape.
I always have that punching power. I can always end a fight. As long as I'm breathing and standing, I'm dangerous.
Please welcome to the cage the dynamic former world champion, Cung Le.
So Cung Le returns to the cage after that December loss. He's been inactive. Only 3 fights in the last 2.5 years. One of those fights, Frank, against you, when he stopped you via a TKO, but it was one of the great fights of the season. But he's also getting older at 38.
He's 38. He's getting older now. He hasn't had the hard career that I had. He's only got 6-7 fights, but he did have a long Sancho and wrestling career. So we know there's damage on the body. He claims he's super healthy, but having the baby, being 38, man, that's tough.
Actor Channing Tatum in his corner. He's had a long week. His wife, Suzanne, underwent an emergency C-section this past Monday, giving birth to a healthy baby boy, Robert Eric Lee. Amazing thing is that Lee's wife is here tonight, along with his mom, Ann, and sister, Nicole.
MMA women are strong.
As we saw in the last fight.
That's right.
Kenny and Cyborg. One of the most vicious ones we will see. So that brings us to some of the keys for Cung Le.
Well, Cung Le's key tonight is don't take chances. He took chances last time. He wanted to please the crowd. He wanted to finish off Scott Smith. He needs to be precise. He needs to be technical and stick to his skill set. Do not take chances.
And Mauro, Cung Le has come out and said that he was so disappointed in his last loss to Scott Smith. He wanted to forget about the movies, make sure that he got back into doing what he does best, and that's MMA.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He said he's going to be more patient in this fight, use a lot more setups and angles, and really just looking to focus on his first love, the martial arts.
And now here is the exciting knockout artist, Scott Hands of Steel Smith.
So here comes Scott Smith. Hands of steel. Smith has always shown an ability, Mauro, even when he's down, to pull out a win.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You look at his resume filled with thrilling knockouts. Many of them the dramatic come-from-behind variety, including his last fight against Cung Le. And who can forget the dramatic come-from-behind wins over the likes of Benji Radek and, of course, Pete Sell.
Has he ever had a fight that did not come from behind and win? This guy is amazing. Well, his key tonight is a hard jab with fast hands. And he's going to do that by keeping his nose in Cung's chest and backing him up. He can't wait like he did last time and counter punch. He took a lot of punishment and he took a lot of damage. And if Cung hadn't gotten careless, he would have lost that fight.
And he's very self-aware, is Scott Smith. He told us that he may not have the longest career, but darn it, he's going to have one of the most exciting, and he certainly has had that thus far.
Scott Smith, Cung Le. And it's time now for the tale of the tape. 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. That's 185 pounds.
Yeah, and the big number we got to think about is Cung Le is 38 years old. He is not a young man. And further, the unseen factor, the mental anguish over the KO he suffered in his last fight.
The first loss of his career. Let's go inside the cage now to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
All right, fans, here we go as Strikeforce, M1 Global, and Showtime present a rematch special attraction in the middleweight division. We're scheduled 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, a world-renowned Sancho fighter with an MMA record of 6 wins, 1 loss, with all 6 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, looking to avenge his loss from San Jose, California by way of Vietnam, please welcome the popular Sancho world champion and the former Strikeforce middleweight champion of the world, introducing Cung and his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, an always dangerous and well-versed mixed martial artist specializing in Muay Thai with a record of 18 wins, 6 losses, and 1 no contest with 15 big wins coming by way of knockout. From Elk Grove, California, please welcome the hammer-fisted veteran, the comeback phenom, and former champion, Scott Hands of Steel Smith. And our referee in charge now to give instructions, Jason Herzog.
Cover's gone over the rules in the back. No final questions from you, Blue. No final questions from you, Red. That's close. We're not ready to fight.
Scott Smith, Cung Lee, the rematch in San Jose. And for Cung Lee, you know he has great takedown defense, but one thing, Frank, he's pretty good at taking you down.
He's a good wrestler. He should use it. I don't know why he doesn't.
Scott Hands of Steel Smith, that right hand has fire in it. And if he connects, it could be lights out early for Cung Lee.
First round, fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready? Let's fight!
And we're underway. And Smith quickly across the ring. He said he wasn't going to waste any time going at him. There's a right hand by Smith.
Scott
he is just
Smith
rushing him.
After him. Now, you just got to be careful he doesn't extend and get caught with a hook or get caught with a kick when he's reaching.
How's Lee's punching power, Frank?
I mean, he punches good. They're crisp and they're tight. They're not like heavy thudding ones, but they're nice pops.
Lee said a lack of cardio and the fact he didn't listen to his corner very well hurt him in the first meeting with Smith.
Smith, 31 years old, Cung Lee, 38. Will age be a factor? As the fans show who they are rooting for, cheering Cung Lee's name.
I like the strategy already by Scott Smith. Bowling in there, nose in the chest, just like he said he was, pinning him in the cage, stopping all that movement.
Smith worked with a boxing coach for the first time for this training camp. Professional by the name of Mike Guy, wanting to work on his head movement defensively.
Smith, very aggressive. Lee backing up. We haven't seen him use his kicks yet.
And that was another thing he mentioned, the fact that the sheer number of kicks that he threw against Smith in the first fight may have emptied his tank prematurely.
Scott Smith has a bit of head movement. Finally, he slipped a couple of punches there. He got hit with a kind of a hooking jab. Cung Lee is beating him with a punch now.
But Smith is the kind of fighter that'll take 2. He'll take 3 to get 1. Because generally that 1 counts a whole lot.
314!
Cung Lee is getting through with that straight left. As Scott kind of barrels in, he's timing him and he's dropping it straight down and popping him.
Of course, Lee, the southpaw, that straight right of Scott Smith may be his primary weapon.
Cung Lee trying to find some space to get his kicks up. He finally does.
And already resorting to his guy.
Oh, straight left
that
hand.
Straight left pop, really good.
Now,
big
Smith
change here.
with a shot.
And there's that takedown defense. Cung Lee earned All-American honors, was a state wrestling champion in California. We don't see his wrestling skills that often.